playing corners.
I'm just trying to picture the Io v Ursa matchup. Like, at what point does Io ever go, haha, I got you, Ursa, die to my farm? You know, like, I don't think there's like that kind of, no, it doesn't.
Okay, surely there's some synergy when it comes to Team Unique. They've got a chance, right? They've got a Death Prophet that's buffed up by Io. Man, Kyle's just shaking his head. No, they don't. They don't have a chance. All right, T-Governor, go on. Head over there and join your partner in crime. We are going to be heading into the game. It's Team Unique versus Virtus Pro. It's going to be casted by Moxie and T-Governor.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to move that over just yet, but welcome to the casting desk, T-Gov. It's very exciting to have you here. A cast for my first time, and yeah, you know, it's definitely a valid point. I've never seen an IO like chuckle and say, ha, I have more farm than you, I'm ready to kill you, Ursa.
Yeah, like the thing with Io nowadays, you pretty much go for like Helmet Dominator, and of course like the reason why Io was so strong was like the Ags and the 15 talents, but now it's kind of been delayed a bit. So yeah, you don't really have a strong timing, and potentially there could be like an Orchid play coming out from the IO where you can punish the Ursa pre-DPC or something, but I'm a little bit skeptical. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think that's fair, and I think, you know, a lot of people going into this match are aware of the fact that Unique right now is sitting at the very bottom of the rankings, whereas Virtus Pro, they're looking like the kings.
Yeah, they're for sure up top, and you can see even just by the early moves, like VP, they're aggressively checking for the tri-camp. Often teams might want to defensively here, but yeah, VP just moving on in and making sure that they own the early bounty room.
Now, we just heard Brian do a laundry list long of just all the reasons of why VP should win this game.
It's pretty long, I won't lie.
Is there, you know, anything specifically that Unique can do to really kind of offset and start to tip the scales in their favor? I know it's tough. I know that, you know, they're a bit static, they're very farm dependent, but is there anything that they kind of...
Well, yeah, of course. Like, so when they have this Enigma in that position 4-0, he is a lot greedier. And when you think about what heroes VP has, like, none of them, there's no save, there's no kind of black hole cancel coming out outside of maybe an Abyssal Blade on this Ursa. So if this Enigma has a good game and play a kind of a slow pace kind of approach, then sure, I think you black hole him, get him out of the game, and suddenly Death Prophet can sell. But it's very much, you have to hit the big spells with the big cooldown to get yourself in.
A lot of pressure on this Enigma for sure, so keep an eye out on him. But, you know, this middle lane with the Death Prophet and the Void Spirit, of course, we're expecting to see K probably do very well here. Despite the fact that I feel like, you know, anytime you see a melee hero against the Death Prophet, she tends to have a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I think the saving grace is because you have this Void Spirit. Outside of lane, it's what they bring to the game, and that 4-minute rune, the Void Spirit naturally will be looking to move to the side lanes, it's super active, and Death Prophet is a very static kind of hero. Your pressure. GPK, we've seen in the games he played so far in DPC, he's super active, likes to break down the map. We're going to see that again here with this one.
Willing save a little bit here on the top lane, but generally, you know, it's so weird because I've been seeing so much like early fighting, early aggression coming out of the EU region, but in CIS, it feels like everybody just kind of sits back and they just chill for a bit. It seems a bit backwards, right, from what we're...
Yeah, I think there's kind of like two ways to play Dota right now, which is kind of what you touched on. It's either you can wait and farm and then really break down the enemy with position, or you try and just run at them non-stop and then they never have the time to set up that kind of farming pattern. No, it is refreshing to see a little bit of split within the regions, you know?
I think it's interesting too. Usually, you know, we'll see rotations. Sometimes we get lucky, right? Sometimes we get a really good action rune coming out and the mid's able to snap it up and we start seeing that fight start like maybe a minute early. But otherwise, it seems like most of the action starts around 5 minutes, right? And everybody's scrambling for those bounty runes and bottles and whatnot.
There's kind of like two really big windows. Kind of the active rune, if you have that hero to utilize it, and also you want to kind of refill the bottle and set yourself up for the bounty fight.
Oh, he's fine. Look at him.
Yeah,
he's
cheeky little stab, hasn't he?
Look at that. He's got a foul. This is the captain of Virtus Pro here. You're not going to take him down that easily.
Oh, but this is what Unique need. They need to start getting some kills early on, I think, with Io lane. Because you have Io Tusk, it's very potent, it's very strong. And then it will obviously kind of fall off when the Io needs to get 2 or 3 items to the hero. So the lack of early kills here is going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Farm up here, top lane. Io sitting at 700. Not the best feelings in the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bit low.
I think that's an understatement. A bit low.
Yeah, it's a tad low. Yeah, it's not too good. But again, like they're looking for the kills, and Slane has been pretty much in front of the Brumos this entire time, and Paul Camp's not been able to utilize. So yeah, VP are going to be loving life in this lane.
Structures are fortified.
I mean, how do you get kills in this lane? You've got an IO and you're facing off against, someone fairly tanky. And of course, Save is going to be able to actually, save. He does have the shackles up. And you can always get a value point in the Hex.
Yeah, the IO is you need that +1 to have that tether for the move to play. That forces your support not just to play on that Paul Camp. Why we're seeing this lane always in front of Shaman. But Slayer, he is doing a good job at tanking up the spells. Warren did get shackled, but as long as his IO can maybe get a couple more DS and get that Dominator and then start really getting entry to the game.
This is a nice start here, Save, though, with the shackles, couple of spirits coming out, but he's still going to be able to walk away. Turns back around. Can they get a kill on Slayer here? They're hoping maybe they can get off enough damage, but you have to be careful, of course, with those over on the side.
There's a lot of poking and prodding.
No hard committals just yet, like I said, but 4 minutes has come up around. The bottle here, Void also is that as well. So I think maybe around the 5 minute. A bit more scrapping, maybe a little bit more committal. Especially with Slayer swing so low, and if Slayer leaves, then Palantimos is very, very vulnerable.
I think the nice thing as well to see is, in like the EU region, we see a lot of active nature towards these runes, and we haven't seen that at all from either of these teams. We kind of allowed the mid lane to go, you know what? You guys play for the 50-50. If you lose, it's your own fault. We're not going to help secure it in any way. And that is a product of the Tusk having to help IO, the Enigma having to jungle, and then VP seeing that and just trying to apply that extra bit of pressure. Because if the supports ever leave the VP, that's when Unique will start kind of get carried away, getting that extra farm, because they are a lot greedier.
Fortune's chain.
Snapped up here. Well, nice one. Slayer managing to grab 2 of them. But
slow and steady. It's early days. I think VP, they're going to be very happy with this start. And I think Unique as well. I think both teams, they really aren't going to feel any pressure right now. The way that these lanes. Maybe the IO is the only one feeling a little bit kind of more upset just in kills, but hopefully we're going to see some tempo ramped up, especially with GPK getting level 6. Might be starting to look to play on a side lane.
I feel like we've seen this before. Although the IO Spirits are doing a lot more damage this time, so there we
someone
go.
dies, Moxie. That's what we care about.
First blood at 5 minutes and 40-something seconds. Not usually what we see coming to region. I like this though. They rotate the Coddle to be able to try to put some more damage down. Just wipe up all of these. And of course the Eidolons. You have to be careful though. GPK, gets the taunt off. Can they turn this back around? Throwing out the Illuminate. There's a lot of damage being thrown out on Pikachu. Save also rotating.
I think GPK getting pretty low there forces out the save rotation. So saves will be a little bit uncomfortable with this TP. But in general, it's a very good move from VP, especially the Coddle, just getting rid of this early exo pressure from the tower and allowing for kind of this lack of pressure. Because Unique, the pressure comes from the DP. DP ever waste exo, they're on their own side of the river, they can't make any plays.
Radiant
Lane,
structures are
DM
fortified.
getting harassed here by Palantimos and Slayer. The shards, though, not going to be able to tame him. And yeah, I do love the way, you saw this rotation. You see the Eidolon in the lane, and then you just immediately see the Coddle make his way over because he's that Eliminate, push out the wave, and just effectively, not necessarily stop the push because he's longer, but definitely, very effective.
It's so sad seeing an Ursa be a Timber, I won't lie. When you get left alone, you're the Timbersaw player, you're like, don't hit me, leave me alone, just let me kind of trade farm. Have you ever done that in a game? Tried offering up like a farm kind of treaty where it's like, I'll CS, you CS, don't hit each other?
No, but I've definitely hit the pause button and said, wait, please, don't do this.
Is this when you're full HP or like 10 HP?
You don't want to do this. Oh, please. The bargaining stage of grief for sure. But down bottom lane here goes 6. But not a decent chunk of damage here against Nightfall. He's really holding his own. They do have to be careful. Tackle coming forward. Nightfall, of course, jump ahead. So they're just giving him tiny boots over on the side, but we'll have a rotation coming. Again, the Chakram doing a decent amount of damage. Hop forward again. need to get over the safety because it's a little bit faster. There it is. There's the shackles. If they get enough damage off time, well, I guess with DPC making his own rotation too, he should be able to help take down Ghosting. They need to be careful because he's really hunting Nightfall. Almost manages to do it. 50-something hit points. Nightfall is a tricky bear here as he manages to sidestep all of the damage just in the next.
I think Ghost is honestly really happy with that. The fact that he had 4 heroes in the bot lane just to deal with him, that's exactly what a Timbersaw wants. It alleviates the pressure in the top lane. Now Io and Tusk might be able to start, poking and prodding the through market. And a DP happily trading up with the GPK. Didn't really miss anything in this rotation, but slow and steady.
He didn't lose his tower, that's the big thing, right? Whenever you're playing against the Death Prophet, the lane, we'll use the Exorcism. That tower is very, very important.
If you look at the network right now, greediness of Unique's lineup isn't really getting pressured at all. Like you have Timbersaw Shaw is like the sacrificial lamb, but the Enigma we mentioned already, he's like the big core here. Maybe kind of apply for that big team kind of timing we're going to be seeing around minute 15, minute 20. The Helmet Dominator Orchid on Io, Timbersaw with any kind of tanky item.
Boy, this is looking like a dead
Radiant's bottom
player.
tower is under attack.
Hit here.
But it's only fair, they got the Io kill earlier. Tusk needs to
Them, they're smoked up. He, though, kind of wants to stick around in the middle lane. The Enigma.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
Fine.
bottom tower has
There
fallen.
really isn't any black hole council in this game outside of Shaman, a Bruce Lit, and then maybe the remnant from the Void Spirit. It really does allow for this kind of early window of the game where Enigma could walk in and get a pretty high value black hole, and that's why we're seeing him not really rush like the Blink BKB kind of thing, go more for a tanky mech item to enable the CP, enable the warming desire that Unique will have when it gets to exit a lane.
That makes a lot of sense, right? You're just going to be able to kind of walk in as long as you survive the initial steps, and you'll be able to get over the black hole and cancel it. They will throw out the Illuminate, and there's a decent amount of pressure as they use the fortification already. See more heroes making their way over Ton with the Illuminate. Okay, popping back up again here over on CQ. He sidesteps Silence. Just a little bit more damage. Snowball comes out, though. Buys a little bit more time. The tower does go down. Timbersaw coming in. The Illuminate, though, will be able to take that PQ. Night Shackles coming out from the stage. They'll be able to take that Slayer next. And now it looks like it's just Ghostpick left here all by himself. They've used the split. They're slowing him down. They're doing everything that they can. Victim, though, nearby uses the mech. Will turn back around. Throws down that Midnight Pulse. And the threat of the black hole just seems to be a little bit too scary for the side of Virtus.pro, so they'll back off.
Unique, they're the ones actually kind of making all the proactive moves right now. They've taken away the spot tower, they're taking the bit. No, these are kind of fundamentally the most important powers in the game. It opens up a lot more pressure to come in the future. DP, they'll be kind of annoyed with how hard it was to defend that tower. They have to bring in all the heroes. They get a couple kills, but it doesn't feel that good. So they're going to have to go back, retreat to the jungle, and as long as they don't keep using more map control and can keep like a line of defensive vision, they still won't mind too much because their scaling is what they're looking for. They don't have this immense amount of damage early on. Like Bruce, he needs to have split. Ursa with Battle Fury +1. They're kind of accepting giving up the map, but this could easily get pretty Unique favored if they go again, get another tower, and then suddenly Roshan's on the card for them as well.
I was about to say, yeah, that tower always is very important, but especially when you really want
Dyer's
to
top
protect
tower
the
is
tower.
under attack.
The enemies can't teleport as easily either to that
Dyer's
area. But
structures
pressure will
are
get placed on the
fortified.
top area here as they've used the serpent wards and plenty of people in position. Smoked up on the side of Unique. Their way over. Over on the side. Slayer, smoke will pop. They'll find themselves safe. See Kingslayer hiding over in the corner. The Hex comes out. They'll get a shackle off. He's just trying to buy a little bit more time for his teammates, and he does manage to do it because they teleport out. Okay, he's gonna get recalled, and so you end up losing,
Dyer's middle
losing your
tower
support.
is under
I think
attack.
It's normally quite a simple push from a team with a Shaman, and now they're grouped up again. I think we have to look towards maybe the negative repercussions
Radiant's
of this
top
play for
tower
Unique,
is
where
under
they're
attack.
grouping up a lot more than VP,
Radiant's
which means that they're going to
structures
have
are
lower XP, lower farm across all heroes, and it will give them this kind of early map presence. But the question is, will they be able to keep up with the farm compared
Dyer's
to this
middle
Ursa,
tower
who's already
is under attack.
6.4k net worth, and he is the winner, and you're not seeing Unique shut down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they've been focused on a lot of the objectives, but not necessarily. It's interesting, right? It's kind of like focusing on the present, but not focusing on, your investments for the future.
Dire's
All
bottom
in at
tower
this
is under attack.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that is one of the big separations between tier 1 to tier 2. You feel good getting some kills, but like the question is, are those kills the kills that are really getting you into the winning position? Right now for Unique, it isn't that bad, but I'd like to see them try and make some moves towards this Ursa, just stint his farm a little bit.
Moves that they're making currently.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
VP, just go back
Dire's
top again.
tower
You
is
see
falling.
that Unique have taken this tower and pushing away. They get it. And now they're opening up this Roshan area for sure. Both teams could easily get a free Roshan with one good pickoff around the pit. And I think that's maybe what VP are doing right now. Smoking up.
Dire
They
are
can
scanning.
break down this mid tower, get a couple of kills. They'll instantly pivot straight to Roshan.
Gotta make sure that they go on lockdown. Definitely. They might run into Go.
Wasn't actually a sentry there for Unique on the hill, so they're not going to be aware that VP is going to cover right now. They can kind of guess it, just side lanes being pushed. And now, of course, certain more trees dropped as well.
The reveal, but Bignum also will reveal himself over on the side of the Io immediately gets into position here. Chain forward, fortifications out. Tossed out as well. Pikachu sitting very low. Palantino's going to make sure he stays alive.
The thing about Unique is these defensive, they are quite incredibly tanky. Tusk Snowball for the save, DP naturally, Enigma with the next, Timbersaw. Like, if VP commit, they have to all in on that one hero and make sure they have enough burst potential. And right now, they don't have the items to do that. So that's why you can see VP being quite reserved. They'll come in, poke at the tower, then instantly disengage because they want to try and continue out-farming their opponent. Like Unique, they're going to be slow to get back out onto the map and start farming. You can see how VP is trying to kind of utilize the positioning right now. Get back a bit more of a gold lead. 'Cause it is still a very even game right now.
I think if they had maybe caught Bignum and been able to take him out, perhaps that fight. He is the biggest threat. Major team fight component. It's everything. Well, because I feel like you
Radiant's
can
middle
burst
tower
down.
is under attack.
It's not the easy. You just kind of ignore them. You don't want to engage.
And now you can see here, you've got to complete his dual scepter as well. We spoke earlier about the kind of lockdown that VP has. When they take a team fight, there always has to be one player calling for, I'm holding this stun for the black hole. And it's pretty much like 3 or 4 spells that we're talking about. Nice pickoff from.
Fine, it can't save, and that is actually going to be the blink dagger for Bignum. More crucial, they're going to have to be very, very careful in the fights. It's going to be a case of hunting down the Enigma.
Trying to work out the point in which this Brew's going to have like a nice entry to this. He likes
Dire's
to
bottom
pop his
tower
ult, try and
is
get a
under
quick
attack.
kill, reset and go, and we haven't really seen that from him. He's now just kind of pushing out the side lane.
Radiant's
He doesn't
top
really
tower
care if he
is under
dies or not.
attack.
He has the early vessel to deal with this big regen and tanking peak. I love that pickup. We're still, I think, we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from VP, confidently wanting to make a play. And Unique, they
Dire's
identify
bottom
that.
tower
They
is
instantly go to
under attack.
Roshan, utilize his exorcism. DP position 5, DP mid. It's gonna do a lot of work at the
Radiant's top tower is
That's a
under
level 2
attack.
ultimate as well.
Dire's
I
bottom
don't think
tower
VP should
is
be
under
here in
attack.
time.
I don't think he will
Nice
go into
shot.
that pit either.
Yeah.
You've got an Enigma there. It's way too risky, so I like the way that Unique is playing
Roshan
this.
has fallen to the
Very
ground.
methodical. And yeah, I like the way that they were the ones being proactive. They didn't allow the Shaman to be the taking the tower pressure, and because of that, they get all 3 tier 1s and Roshan a minute. It's like the perfect start for Unique, especially when you're the underdog.
This is really nice. You've got DPK, he just finished the Aghanim Scepter, so you know he's going to be backlines. Silence. They're looking for an opening here over on Ghost. DPK jumps forward, the silence coming in handy as he draws right back into the run. They follow up, yes, they get the silence over on the Enigma. Oh no, Bignum, it was going to be beautiful if only there wasn't that silence.
Dire's
That was
middle
disastrous for
tower
Unique.
has fallen.
I think that was where you can see how VP, they were buying the time, and the items came to play there. The vessel to take away the tankiness of Timbersaw, the Ags for the silence, and Unique could have turned that around, but unfortunately, too late, and that's where VP takes the tap. 2 big kills.
That was just beautiful, like that peak timing and then having the fight break out like that. It just feels so bad. Like, look at this. Jump in here, over onto Ghost Stick. Bignum jumps in, but then they follow up with the second silence.
Dire's middle tower is
Power
under
of Keeper
attack.
the Light plus Void Spirit, you're always going to have the silence available, and it is. You can see he was so happy with those kills. Like, he was buzzing at the fact that he just got a couple kills. Hold it back, please. don't show too much emotion. in the
Methodical,
early
you
game.
know? Stone Cold Killer.
He knows it's like 15 minutes winning the game, yeah.
Hey, I'm just happy we got a puppy smile.
Oh,
That was
wasn't it? Yeah.
wonderful.
Maybe we should have incentives, you know, it's like you get punished for not having the webcam. You should get, you know, extra money if you start smiling and showing true emotion.
Oh, everyone would be smiling then. People like money.
Uh,
Couple of maybe like an extra DPC point here or there, right? Ooh,
who
everybody's gonna be
has sprint
smiling.
one DPC point?
But you still have to win.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Is that balanced?
No, that's balanced, yeah.
Okay, they're hiding in the tree line here. They use a scan so they nick there. Just careful, but he's got those eight. Oh,
Don't find
it's
him,
so
man.
close. Nervous. We'll ask to step away. And ask step one more time. Be on cooldown for another 7 seconds. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it's anyway,
worst thing-
recall anyways.
I think the worst thing here right now is if Unique is going over after GPK, but then a recall and an instant hit onto IO would have been disastrous because Unique's in the top left corner of the map.
Oh my god.
Luckily, IO wasn't in a position where that could easily have happened. But VP were positioned to
Radiant's
want to try and
top
make these
tower
plays.
is under attack. Radiant
We
structures
do have
are
the
fortified. Dire's bottom
or
tower
IO
is
as
under attack.
well, but again, it's not like he is tankiest little ball of light here. So while it will prevent him from getting locked down, I'm not sure it'll be enough alive if the rest of them crumble around.
Dire's
And
structures
a really nice
are
thing that VP
fortified.
are doing right now is they're ensuring that the vision is based on the objectives they want to play at. I think
Dire's
if you look at the
bottom
minimap
tower
real
is under
quick,
attack.
Unique, they have
Radiant
two
are
side lane
scanning.
wards, which makes their game really hard to play because you're not really playing at the tier 1 bottom, tier 1 top. So a big vision advantage from VP right now to be able to make the correct moves.
Radiant's top tower
And it does
is under
indicate that
attack.
this top push, everyone should be here. Just because you see mid lane pushed in, bot lane pushed in, VP should be very aware that this top tri-camp area, and showing in the lane,
Yeah,
does pretty much help. Yep.
Well, down goes the tower here.
Radiant's top tower has
Looks
fallen.
like they're okay with letting it go. It feels like they're playing their own game. It really feels like they're like, okay, we're gonna allow them this and this, but I know that I'm gonna be, you know, finishing up this item at this timing. Everything's fine, guys. This feels like a very chill game for them, where they're not feeling. Whereas Unique definitely has that, like, we are on a time.
It does feel like. I think we kind of mentioned on the panel with the IO that what does the IO ever do to the Ursa in the kind of late game? You know, it's kind of like little ball of light versus big bear. It doesn't really kind of weigh up that well. And, yeah, I think Unique, they are really trying to play around this early window. I think VP as well, they show the respect of a potential Lotus Orb coming out. We see that just on the table now. Brewmaster, everything he's bringing to the table right now is kind of gone. You know, we don't really care about split too much. Unique is too tanky. This vessel, all right, cool. You're now kind of just like a vision in fight. So yeah, Unique and a really big power spike right now. We're really waiting for the second Roshan to really try and break down VP, start pressuring there.
So what do we want to see come more than just another body in the fight?
Okay, well, I'm happy that he went to the Midas to kind of give himself a game because I think the way that we were discussing this vessel already pulling off, he needs to scale. He's got Aghanims in his quick buy right now. That does allow him to continue scale, but realistically, a BKB after that just to have continued presence in the fight. One hero on VP that can just get vision is critical.
Nightfall. Do they go in? Oh, they have the black hole. The BKB hits out. We'll follow up though with the Exorcism. They turn right back around again. They get still on Big Num now. Slayer trying to run away from GPK. Has his Pikachu, so he can just chase down. They'll be able to go reload out, but that IO's going to be coming back. And that is, of course, your core. Slayer, though, leading them on a merry chase, says, come look at me. Don't pay attention to my IO. And it doesn't matter because he is going to go down. Very dangerous, though. Palantimos is going to be coming back here with Pikachu. They drop the Serpent Wards over onto Ghostic. Save. He's going to take a lot of damage. That Estus Ring, though, looks like it's going to be able to keep him alive just a bit longer. Pikachu now will go down. Ghostic is going to get backed up. And they just need a little bit more damage with this Timbersaw. By God, they have. And somehow, Palantimos is still alive, but it doesn't look like he's going to be living much longer here, T-Gov, because the rest of the team is here. The Spirit Vessel is here. And it's Nightfall with a triple
Radiant's
kill.
bottom tower
I just think
is
the
under
patience
attack.
of VP, it really put Unique in a position. Okay, we got the black hole. We have to make a play. We need to do something. You can see the kind of the hate. They want to try and instantly get it off, and Void Spirit just in position to just jump in, silence, and no, I should have BKB. I can instantly can. Without the black hole, where's the team fight? So
Dire's
unfortunately for
middle
Unique,
tower is
they
under
kind of
attack.
buckled under the pressure of VP doing nothing. It sounds weird to say, but in Dota, I think that is the worst pressure to feel when your enemy is not making any moves against you, and you're like, wait, they're just farming. we have to do something, and that's exactly what happened here. Wasted black hole, and now dead again in top lane. It's looking a bit dismal now.
I mean, he's putting up a decent fight, considering that
That's the
there's
next 3 seconds.
Yeah, you know? Hey, those are 3 seconds that Nightfall was not hitting creeps or hitting any other.
That is min-maxing to the highest level.
You gotta look at the positive side.
That is true. The interesting thing as well in that fight is after the black hole was wasted, they also brought the DP back in after the IO save. It's like they really committed to trying to take the fight, which was very interesting.
Dire's top tower is
You use
under
it like
attack.
that if you're a core operator.
It feels like they were trying to make the big save, and then like, oh wait, I'm a core. All right, let's go for the fight. Okay. So unique. They need to reset. They need to really think about what's the next fight. And I think simply put, it's having the vision to get off the correct black hole. We mentioned already what's the cancel. I think if you can maybe get the tusks to find the shark, the enigma maybe even black holes the void for it, and then you get to play out the game there. Cut out the Ursa at the very end, because this Axon void spirit is way too disastrous.
Played it beautifully.
That was a core IO, by the way. That
was a core IO. And now it's looking like a dead Slayer as well. They're just hemorrhaging kills around the map right now.
And I mentioned earlier the idea about vision in this game, and I think the product of those two side lanes, it doesn't really allow you to make these strong mid kind of positional moves. And if you look at the minimap again, Dire, they got one ward entering their jungle. There's nothing to really play around. They don't see anything happening, and that's where like the Ursa, Void Spirit, and even the Kotal with the recall, they can just pick off anyone who shows in the lane or even the jungle.
I feel like this Kotal is just too good of a hero right now.
Bonkers, Moxie. Just let's not even sugarcoat it. The hero is stupid. I can with Chakra, I can refresh some abilities from my ultimate. You know, like pressing the button. It's stupid.
Oh, top lane, Pikachu is not looking great for this switch. Just gets dashed up, and Nightfall collects himself.
That was a mid lane Death Prophet, by the way.
That was.
We have been seeing a lot of support Death Prophet, but
fallen.
Ursa, it is also a pretty stupid hero. It's seen Secret run with great success. Once it gets to the 2-3 items, it rips anything to shreds.
Very good hero, for sure. And they're making it look absolutely fantastic in this game. Of course, that is a core IO, which is not more anyways. Is it? I know Charlie's been running a lot of this core IO. Is there anyone else that's really been like their guns that this, good hero?
In the pub scene, yeah, it has been, but it's very much based around buying like Orchid and having an early active item when poor big. But he is close to the BKB. It's like 1,000 gold, 900 gold.
He is, but look how big this pair is getting. All right, Snowball comes out, it's gonna land over on the side. Looks like Palatine almost will be able to go and tether out. Kingslayer's just running on and after him like that. That's a problem when you've got your 5 running after the 4. Like, let me at him.
You don't often see like 1v1.
KB getting popped now from Palantimo. Nightfall is going to respect it. He'll back off a little bit. That Abyssal Blade is on cooldown for another couple seconds, as is BKB. But they realize, okay, maybe let's just chill. Let's go back. There's another tier 2 still on the map. Let's put pressure down.
There's just no damage left to keep anything. In the early window where they were pressuring, it allowed them to try and pick apart the weaknesses of VP's lineup. But now it's 17 for 3. You can clearly see how does Unique actually get a kill in this game. With this core IO, it's about kind of chipping and non-stop being in your face. Heroes like Void Spirit, Ursa, Brew, they don't care about this type of damage. The Brew just hits, Void Spirit can reset, and Ursa just pops ultimate and he'll kill you in about 3 seconds. So, yeah, for Unique, they are kind of falling a little bit victim to kind of lack of instant scaling that they have in their lineup, and they have to look for the big fight. And Roshan will be a point where Black Hole should be able to become a big threat once again.
Careful here, they smoked up, they're doing a wraparound play as they go to use exorcism, jumping over onto the backline. Victim is just not even here, he's not even going to be able to use the BKB as Slayer now to go down. Slayer tries to run away, not to be able to outrun the ghost. It's Palantino, he's just being chipped away here by Nightfall. Back coming up from Keeper of the Light. They just call GG. They've had enough. They realize this strat, unfortunately, is not going to work out for them this time.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough. I like the idea that you had